Hello, everyone. Thank you for popping in. We're just waiting for Brenda Smith to join us. Just give her a minute. All right, here she is. Hey, Brenda, how are you?
Hi, Tanner. I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good, good.
Great. You look healthy and wise. I don't know about the wealthy
Well,
part,
so do
but
you.
thank you.
Looks like we still got a whole bunch of people popping in right now, so I guess we'll hold on a little bit.
Okay.
Let some more people roll in. But to everyone who is in currently, this is Brenda Smith of Brenda Smith Jewelry. She was the winner of our Best Use of Pearl award for this past Spectrum Awards competition. And my name's Tanner. I'm with AGTA, and I am the digital marketing coordinator. So, I guess we can get going. So, Brenda, let's talk about first a little bit of your history with just being in the industry and your business. And just while we start talking about that, I'll pop up one of the picture of your winner just so people get to know what you won.
Okay. Well, I did not come from a jewelry background. My bachelor's degree was in design and fine arts. So it was actually a degree in fine and professional arts, which today is two different degrees, fine arts and professional arts, meaning design. And I feel like because at that time it incorporated both, that I got the best of both worlds. I got introduced to both aspects of the design industry. I worked as a creative director all my career
Okay.
for advertising agencies, and the last one was a manufacturing company, and did all of their marketing and advertising in international 23 different languages and brochures and
Wow.
shows all over the world. But when I retired from that, being an artist, I couldn't just sit still. So
Uh-oh.
I have a friend who's a gemologist, and her husband is a bench jeweler, and she encouraged me to start taking bench classes, which I did and loved it, loved everything about it. So I took stone cutting and silversmithing, goldsmithing, wire wrapping, beading, anything I could. I loved it all. And that was a little over 10 years ago. But I thought, what do I do with this now?
Right.
So entered a couple of local craft shows and instantly realized I didn't fit there. So I
Why didn't you feel like you fit there?
why not? Because the jewelry there was more production and craft than fine jewelry.
Right.
Mine is gold and platinum and some sterling, and gemstones. And you didn't see much gemstone product in the craft shows. But then I thought, okay, what do I do about this? Where do I go with it? Do I just maintain it as a hobby? And I went to Revere Academy in California. They were having a program called Studying with the Masters.
Mm-hmm.
And it was each day you would be with a contemporary designer like David Yurman and Mark Schneider, and you would work the entire day with them. And in the end, Alan encouraged me to start entering some design competitions because he said it would be good for my confidence. And I did, and started winning some things, and he's right. So then I started doing shows like the AGTA show in Tucson, and I've been doing that for, I don't know, 8 years or so now. And I do the Atlanta show, and I did the Vegas show before it got shut down. And
Nice.
here I am.
So tell me about like so you said that you didn't really feel like you fit in with the craft stuff because you're a little bit more on the fine art side of things. But how did it kind of like evolve after you attended this program while you were spending full days with some of these top jewelry designers in the, in fine jewelry? How did it evolve your jewelry a little bit, or were you always making stuff kind of like this ring that I have pulled up right now?
I've always, in my design background, my training, we
Hmm.
were always taught to not fit in a box, but to push the boundaries of that box.
Hmm.
So my pieces even back when I was at Revere Academy, because we did sketches of everything, we didn't actually make it. My pieces always pushed the boundaries and were very dimensional and bold.
Hmm.
Um, that doesn't mean I can't do smaller, more quiet pieces, but this is my love, to do something out of the box. Um, so did that answer your question?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, so you were kind of like always on this track, and then, but like, what about like being with these people each, like these, the people that have been in this industry for, well-known names in the industry, right?
Hmm.
What was it like? Like, what did you think you got out of that? I'm asking this question a little bit for people who might have already started. They're, kind of making their own jewelry currently. They might be where you were 10 years ago,
Hmm.
and a little bit of like the benefit to seeking some of these people out, and like kind of like what you had to gain after that. Was that a loaded question? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where to start to approach it. What I got out of the class, I think was one of your questions. Confidence was one.
Okay.
I didn't know also if my graphic design skills applied to jewelry, because a lot of it was two-dimensional, print ads and things like that. I
Right.
also did trade show design, which was three-dimensional, but it's very different than a small wearable piece of art. But I learned that, yes, those skills are transferable. At least they were for me.
Right.
They might not be for everybody, but I believe that if you're a designer, you can design anything. You can design landscapes or
Oh, definitely.
architecture or gardens or jewelry or clothing. I used to make all my kids' clothes when they were little. I shouldn't say all, but
Did you?
I love the process. And starting with raw materials and ending up with something that's very useful and attractive and usable. So
Yeah.
it's
No.
rewarding.
Well, that's awesome. And well, let's talk about this piece specifically. So this was, featured a, hold on, I have the full description up so that people know exactly what it was.
Okay.
So it is a 18 karat rose gold black lace ring featuring a 16.5 millimeter cultured pearl accented with pink and lavender sapphires and diamonds.
Natural sapphires. Yeah.
Natural sapphires.
Hmm.
I don't know if we had all the space in the description
Oh, okay.
to include, but that's always nice to know.
Yeah. Okay. The inspiration for that was, see if I have it here. Yes. I dug this out.
Oh, really? Okay.
This is a hand crochet doily that my grandmother made
Okay.
back in the 50s. And that was right after World War II, and Hawaii was a big deal back, big theme. And this pattern here is called the pineapple pattern. You can kind of imagine that.
Uh-huh. I see it.
Well, when I was cleaning one day and sorting out things and downsizing, I found this and I thought, this is so pretty and it's so historical and it's so meaningful to me. How can I take this
Hmm.
and use it as a remembrance for my grandmother? So I laid this on my computer, not my computer, my scanner, and
Okay.
I scanned it, and then I reduced it down into little pieces, like an inch, three quarters of an inch, all different sizes. And I laid them all out on a sheet of paper, reversed it to black so you could see the white on the black on the white paper, printed it out, took an X-Acto knife, cut out all those little shapes, and kept playing with them until I had this design. And this is actually two doilies on top of each other. So two different sizes of those
Right.
little printouts. And that was the inspiration for that. And I love working with pearls. I like designing with pearls in a way that you wouldn't have expected. And actually, all my designs are like that. Whether pearls or not, it's unexpected.
You're
And
you're not trying to fit in a box, like you said before.
exactly, exactly. So that's how that started. And because I had the natural pink and lavender sapphires, I decided to make the gold a rose gold to help pick up those red tones
Okay.
in the sapphires.
Very cool. So as you said, like as a remembrance to, would you say your mother or your grandmother? I'm sorry.
My
Your
grandmother.
gra- are
Yeah.
you going to sell this ring, or is this more of a treasure for yourself?
Oh, I can sell it. I can always make another one. So from that point, I created a CAD. Well, I have a CAD person that does the CAD for me because I'm old school. I do everything. I draw everything by hand.
Okay.
Um, and so I give him my drawings and dimensions, and he's amazing. And he converted this for me. And so now that I have a CAD, it's easy to adjust it to fit different stone sizes
Okay.
and different types of stones. It doesn't have to be a pearl, and it
Right.
doesn't have to be sapphires.
Yeah, no, but yes, this is absolutely magnificent.
Thank you.
So- And just for just so that anyone who popped in recently, here's a couple of the other pictures of it. One standing straight up, and then probably this one's a little bit more of what it would probably look like on your finger.
Mm-hmm.
And but this isn't your first Spectrum Award,
No.
correct? So you won an award back in 2016, but not for like I was expecting a piece of jewelry. No, like because we've met at the gem fairs, and I've seen most of or like your line what last year was when we
Mm-hmm.
talked, but I didn't expect that you did objects of art either. So tell me about some of like so here's you sent me a picture of the 2016 oh it's way too big. Uh-oh. Sorry everyone.
I can show you the real thing. I have it back here.
Okay, well let's do that. And then I'll close this down.
All right. Well, my tagline is the jewelry of fine art. And this is fine art as well. So it doesn't have to be jewelry. And again, it's bold, it's sculptural. And when you saw the ring, the pearl ring, my inspiration was an object. Here, my inspiration was a theme. And the theme was Light My Fire. And I took that theme and thought, how can I demonstrate that? And I had just been introduced to the sunstone. And so I was looking for a piece of rough that could be carved into a flame and had the graduated colors with the dark oranges going into yellows and going into the clear that could be carved into a flame. So actually, Daryl Alexander did this for me, and he's a fabulous carver.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Definitely a lot of art
Spectrum winner too,
very
multiple
big
times. Yes.
spectrum.
So that's how it started. And then it evolved to some other details. Like this is a fire pot. Everything has to be gemstone material. So this is petrified wood around here. And then underneath the flame is Mexican fire opal. And underneath the fire pot is a battery, a light. Let's see if I can get it to cooperate. I don't know if you can see it's flickering. A flickering LED light that simulates the coals on the flame.
Yep.
The little diamond right here would be the flash point where the flame ignited. And because so much work and effort was put into this much, I thought, why not be able to wear it as a piece of jewelry? So I made the chain to go with it. Let me set this down.
Okay.
So the chain hooks onto, well, first of all, let me show you that this lifts right off.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And then I have a chain that's matchsticks in gold and sterling, and they slip right onto the hooks on the back.
You
And
you
so,
went fully out on what was it, Light Your Fire?
yes, light my fire.
Love it.
So, concept is very important to me, and that was drilled into me back in college days in the design classes. Concept, 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 and um, yeah, I don't so much just take a gemstone and mount it, and there you have a piece of jewelry. It's got to have more to it than that. So that's how that came about, that piece.
I love to see some of these kind of like convertible pieces. What's nice about that is that it's, a beautiful sunstone necklace, but when you're not wearing it, it could be something sitting on, either your bookcase is something beautiful, but, and as I'm sure people, like most people on this call know, fine jewelry and gemstones and all that are not necessarily the most affordable of things always, but it's nice to see when, people go the extra length to make a piece just more usable. Like,
I try to do that whenever possible for that reason. You get to wear it more often too. And not only is it minimizing the cost per piece, but it's giving you more wear time.
yeah, no doubt.
Piece you love.
Well, that is awesome, and yeah, I was just I wanted to talk about that piece just because I had no idea that you did objects of art really. Like I knew you as jewelry, and then all of a sudden when I was looking back at our archives before this interview, I was like, whoa, hold on, object of art, and I was just like, just baffled, but more amazed than baffled, I think is the right word. But
well, as an artist, I just like to create. And that's what I'm driven by. I'm not driven by, and probably I should be more driven by how sellable is a product. But when you're doing one of a kind,
yeah,
it's not necessarily that. Most likely isn't going to be something somebody's going to rush out and buy. But collectors, yeah, and people that want that distinctive look, yeah. But I also created other lines that are more affordable and that I can produce readily, where I have the CAD file where I can produce things on demand.
right. Well, yeah, no doubt. It seems like we still have some people popping in and out. So let me just pull up your original winning piece that took the Best Use of Pearl Award for our 2020 Spectrum competition. For anyone who wasn't here in the beginning, this is Brenda Smith of Brenda Smith Jewelry. And, one of my last kind of big questions to you is this year, everyone knows it's been a challenging year for everyone. This past year, I guess, we're now in 2021. But without trade shows and making it more difficult to meet up with suppliers or, how is kind of it, and just the hardship that a lot of us have kind of endured this year, as a creative, what was your life like this past year?
Well, it had pros and cons. The obvious, the lack of shows and developing new clientele and that sort of thing. But the pros are more time to design. And I have multiple sketchbooks in every room of the house and all sizes, even tiny little ones I can slip into my purse. And when I have moments or see inspiration, I'm always jotting down sketches. And maybe because that's the way I was taught to design, the hands-on more than a computer 80 type of thing. So it's portable and you can take it anywhere and do it anytime. And I can get lost in that zone. Hours can go by, and then I grab my color pencils and, well, what if I did this color? And then I do overlays. What if I did this? Or so I, yeah, constantly asking myself, what if, and why not? Why not try this? I mean, what have you got to lose? It's paper, you know?
Oh, so you had a bunch more, like a whole bunch more time this year to be able to.
Yes. Yeah. And that's probably how this ring came about, because this isn't my first one.
Okay.
Each design got what I thought better and better. So because I had the time to review things and not correct, but push further. Like I said before, I'm always pushing the boundaries. Because of the pandemic, I had time to do that. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, it is. Especially, I mean, and hey, you won another award this year, so
Yeah.
definitely the pushing.
No banquet though.
Well,
No
we're still
banquet.
reviewing our plans and how we want to kind of go about this next year, but we definitely want to do something. So we're still reviewing that. But as you know, Tucson's still in ever going. You know, still trying to see what we want to do with it, and right now seeing if we can make April work. But yeah,
The thought.
no.
Yeah. I know a lot of shows are reinventing themselves. So it's like making lemonade.
Yes, it is. So before we go, I just have one more question. I've been asking all of our participants this, but do you have any advice for someone, for anyone in the industry, whether it's aspiring designers like you were 10 years ago, or just anyone? Maybe it was from an experience this past year, but any kind of like something you'd like to share with our listeners today?
Stick to it. Don't lose your confidence. If you know you can do it, don't get discouraged because of other circumstances, because that can stop you in your tracks. I tell you, short story, I was, when I was at that interim between craft shows and where do I go next? And I think it was after the Revere Academy, I found myself in the hospital in emergency surgery, and they came in with these forms for me to sign that said if I died or didn't wake up, they didn't say died, if I didn't wake up, that my husband would not sue them. And it just hit me that, oh, this is a reality. I may not wake up. And my first thought was, oh my gosh, I'll never know if I could have made it as a jewelry designer. You know? And I thought to myself, if I wake up, that is my signal that I will pursue this professionally, because I don't want to be in that position again,
Right.
saying to myself, I wish I would have tried. So you'll never know if you don't try.
Nope.
So keep trying, keep pushing, and don't quit.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work, but don't let that discourage you. That's the way it is.
Oh, I believe it. And I think that's that's something I feel like I try to bring to myself. Like the question I ask myself whenever I'm, between a big decision or whatnot, it's like, well, will I come to regret this?
Exactly.
And I would, at least to myself, I would like to think that I won't regret something that I tried to do, work out. I mean, failure, right? Like, but we all grow in it.
That's right.
I think that's definitely an important question to ask yourself, especially if there's something that, like yourself, you were very into the craft jewelry, or at least what you thought was craft jewelry, and ended up fine jewelry. But I'm glad to see that you pushed through, and the work that you're making today is absolutely incredible.
Well, thank you, Tanner. I appreciate that. Appreciate you too.
Well, thank you. Thank you. But thank you so much for coming on today. your ring was magnificent, and I can't wait to see more in the future. I hope you enter next year as well.
Well, thank you. Here's the ring in living color.
Oh, there we go.
Take it out of the box. Just like the picture.
Yep.
And I'll put it on so you see how large it is.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. It is. You know, I almost forgot how big it was, and I got to hold it. But that was what, 6 months ago almost now, or 5 months ago. It was a while back.
Yes.
But thank you again so much, Brenda, and I hope you stay safe. You know, over the next couple of months. Hopefully we all get the vaccines
Forever.
and life can go back to normal. But
Yeah, whatever that is anymore.
but yeah, thank you so much, and I'm sure we'll talk soon.
Okay. Thank you, Tanner.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.